Okay, so hi you guys, it's your girl Kiera, and I'm back with another video. And so, welcome back to Enter Inner Thoughts with Kiera podcast. And so, of course, today, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification button if you want to see the next time I post another video. And so, before we get into the video, of course, today's going to be episode 13, and it's going to be about change today. And so, before we get into the video, to my right, your left. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Okay,
I'm
so
BB, y'all. I'm Kiera cousin.
yes, ma'am. And so, okay, transparency. We had to start over, but it's okay. Life is life, and the devil trying to devil today. But
Yeah, he ain't winning.
he not gonna win today. But okay, so how do you feel right now? Just so far about
Well,
change.
so far about change, it's hard,
Hmm.
but it's well worth it. It's a lot of work with change. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you feel uncomfortable,
Hmm.
hurtful. You got to switch up your crowd sometimes because sometimes you get around people and do things you don't need to be doing, you know. And
Hmm.
them people be the ones that break it up out of you, and they ain't trying to change because they don't see nothing wrong with it. And that's the first sign of change. You have to realize that there's something wrong in order for you to feel the need to fix it. And so, as long as people don't see nothing wrong, they're not gonna fix it. But if you're trying to fix it, you have to sometimes redirect your crowd, redirect your energy, who you're gonna be around, your audience. So, it's a
Yeah,
lot of
because
emotions come with change.
it is, and just a little bit of just like you have said, your surroundings, like the people that you are around, because there are some people that they do know that they need to change, but they just choose not to because they don't care. There's people that genuinely don't care about being a good person. They genuinely don't care about building a relationship with themselves. They rather just be an energy vampire, be a leech, be a follower, be all these different type of things because that's just what they want to do. Not saying that that's sometimes it's what they want to do, and sometimes that's just a mask of saying that that's what they want to do, but in reality they really do want to be better, and they really do want to change. They really do want to see how it would be. But since the people that I'm hanging with, shit, if I'm not doing it, then that means I'm gonna lose I'm gonna lose this person. Then I'm gonna lose my best friend. Then I'm gonna lose my best friend's friend. And it's just like that type of stuff. You can't worry about the other person or somebody else, because at the end of the day, what I learned is whenever you die alone. You die by yourself. So at the end of the day, if you choose not to change yourself and you choosing to do whatever it is that other person doing, and you thinking, say for instance, y'all go and just make this bad decision together, y'all go and go hit a lick, whatever it is that you choosing to go do, and then you decide to go hit that lick with that person. Now they may end up saying it was your fault. They may even, you just never know what people do, but just because you didn't want to be a better you, just because you were so familiar with being around them people, is you got to learn hard lessons through not wanting to change yourself and worrying about who's not going to be around you, who may not support you. Hell, who cares? Be your biggest fan. Easier said than done. It's not easy to be your biggest fan, but it's worth it. If you try it, trust me, it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like we tend to just care too much about what people think. Like, not even just people, but even family too. Like, going to therapy, I ain't know that it's a lot of things that I was taught as a kid that I have to change. Like, just me feeling like certain things is disrespectful and learning that it's really not disrespectful. Like, it's okay for your kid to express how they feel. It's okay for your kid to tell you about yourself in the most respectful way. And you have to, like, that other individual has to either learn how to accept it and try to want to change it about themselves, or they tend to feel like, oh, you just trying to tell me about myself or tell me what I don't do, and then they try to project onto you and tell you what you do and how you do this, and you don't wash the dishes, you don't, whenever I tell you to come grab that remote for me, you don't come grab it. And it's just like, because those things I shouldn't even have to do. You should have just been, you know what I'm saying, use your own 2 feet that God created you to walk on, to go get that remote, or to go wash those dishes with those 2 hands, because I ain't tell you to create me. I didn't tell you to change your life and do what you did. I, last time I checked, I was up there in the spirit world chilling, minding my
Yeah.
business. You know what I'm saying? And God just so happened to be like, hey, it's this contract I need you to sign, X, Y, and Z. You're gonna have this toxic person, then you're gonna have this good person. Then this is how your mama is gonna be, and this is how your daddy gonna be. You may have a sister later on, just not in the beginning, but later on down the line, 10 years later, you're gonna have
Right.
a sister. And I signed that contract and I was like, okay, cool. I thought it was all handy dandy. And then I get birth. Now I'm in your life, and now I'm obligated to do all these damn things. And it's just like, I, what? You get
Yep.
older and you realize that the changes that I had to make with the things that I didn't talk much. I didn't express myself much because I was shut up, quit talking. You always talk whenever I'm talking. It's just like, well, maybe because I don't agree with you. And that's okay that I
Mm-hmm.
don't agree with you. But
Right.
it's just like, it's a generational thing. Them generational curses be, ooh,
Real.
real, and they be so deep, like so
Yep.
deep, Mimi, to the point to where it just be blowing my mind of how much we've thought that all of these things were okay. And not even that, not even as most of us as kids, it's not even that we thought that it was okay, but we accepted it for what it was because that's what we was told to accept
Right.
for what it was.
Right.
But a part of us knew it wasn't right. A part of us
Yeah.
knew, like,
Because we
this
were
don't
saying
make
we weren't
sense.
gonna go through it, and then still grow up and find ourselves going through something similar, if not the same thing, because it's just what you was around,
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But like we knew, but like you said, we accepted it because they accepted
Mhm.
it. So what I'm
Exactly.
saying. A lot of times, like now that they done learned from it, what I'm saying, and they looking back, like probably looking back, reminiscing on when it was them, and I ain't trying to tell
Mhm.
you, but like people was telling you the same thing, and what you do went through it.
Mhm.
So what I'm saying,
Exactly.
like everybody just have to live and learn from their own experiences, and some catch on quicker than others, some later than others, but that's
Yeah.
just life.
Yeah. It's all a journey. It's just like, it's like whenever it's time for you to change, a lot of times whenever you go through change, you're gonna have to go through it by yourself. Like, you're gonna have to, because change comes with changing yourself. Changing how you think, changing how you move, changing the things that you accepted that you was like, oh, it's okay. Like, it'll change one day, and it's just like, no, it's not. But we try to accept things, and we try to just try to be comfortable within something that makes us feel uncomfortable. And
Right.
is just so many things that go within going through change and going through just transitions or transformations or anything of that such. It's like, not a lot of people shed a good light on it. I feel like change comes with a lot of negativity, and it's only because, like, I feel like they only shed negative things on it because it causes for the world to be better. Like, they don't want the world to be better. Like, it's the devil, like that we all think like him, self-centered, just always thinking about ourselves, always thinking that somebody trying to tell us about ourselves or trying to tell us that we wrong, and then we thinking, well, y'all wrong too because you ain't doing X, Y, Z either. But it's just like, a lot of times they may not be doing X, Y, and Z, but they trying to tell you because they know what path that you on. So
Right.
they trying to help you not go down a bad path. They trying to help you not be in that darkness like they're in the darkness. It is just like it just be different things of understanding that, like, change helps you attract the right people. It helps you to become abundant. It helps you to be able to find your purpose through going through change. Because once you go through change, change takes a lot of strength, a lot of commitment, a lot of consistency, dedication, grace, understanding. Like, it's just so many things that come with that. And most people feel like, well, if I change, then, like, family, like if I change my ways, like we were just talking about, like with family, like if I change the ways of how I was taught, or if I choose to speak up now, if I choose to not shut up, you know what I'm saying, and express how I feel, like, how do I go about that? Like, it's like you go through change, but change comes within you applying that in your life in the best way for you. And trying to find that is it could be a very, very long journey. And it could be confusing sometimes because it's unfamiliar, because things you don't these things are unfamiliar to me. I don't know what this is. So it's just like you have to trust yourself, and you have to trust the process, and you have to trust that it is going to get better. Because I noticed that whenever I went through my changes came with a lot of, like, people being, now they're afraid to lose me. Now they're afraid to, now it's just like, oh, you come with too much, or oh, you got boundaries now. Like, I don't want that. Like, I want the old Kier that allowed herself to be a doormat. The old Kier that allowed herself to just talk to you any kind of way. I just let you say whatever, and then not said much because I didn't like confrontation. So I didn't say nothing back. It's just different things, and just learning that it's okay to speak up for yourself. It's okay to tell that person, hey, what you did, that's not me. I'm gonna go over here while you go over there, and be okay with that. Like, being okay with choosing you, being okay with going the other way and not worried about that person. "Oh, you lame, you this, like, or you think you too good, or you think you're better than me." And it's just like, no, I just know those things no longer serve my purpose. Those things no longer feed me anymore. Those things don't make me want to grow. They keep me stagnant. They keep me in this mind space of feeling like, poor me. I'm always going through this. I'm always going through that. And it's just like, I had to change my mindset. I had to change the way of how I think, how I move, how I eat, all of those things, in order for me to be able to consistently have something that is good for me within my life. Because we can always go through a change, but then sometimes lose sight within the change of what it is that we were doing. And like we were saying earlier, just like falling into just the habit of creating a good habit, creating something where it's just like, it makes sense to where it helps me be able to be a better me. It's just like, you have that feeling, your intuition lets you know if this is the right way or if that's the wrong way. You just got to trust it. You just got to know it.
Yeah. And it all falls back down to faith too. You gotta keep faith in
Mhm.
everything that you go through. Like, cause like you said, the devil, he's gonna work hard because he know
Mhm.
God working hard, so he gonna try to run him, but he can't defeat him. So
Yeah.
he's gonna come. He come to kill,
Mhm.
steal, and destroy. He gonna come and do that. And if you ain't got faith, then you lose your faith and you allow him. So a lot of times, if
Mhm.
you allow him in, and you ain't got your faith to help you fight against him, you ain't gonna succeed because you're gonna be going through that same cycle and wondering why
Mhm.
I'm not defeating this cycle, I'm not getting past this to move on to the next part of your journey. You can't do it by yourself. Because,
Yeah.
like you said, half the time we don't got people to support us.
No.
You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta give yourself the extra push. But you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? You can't give yourself the extra push without the man upstairs.
That's very true. Because you're never
And
alone
like
through
you
the
said,
process.
grace.
Mm-hmm.
Never, never. And that's why you got, like you said, got to have grace. Because if you give them grace out here to everybody else, the right people, spiritual
Mm-hmm.
people, not people
Yeah.
that's just gonna be a devil forever and ain't trying to
Mm-hmm.
change nothing and don't want nothing. They
Yeah.
just stuck how they is. It's just them. They make the people that
Mm-hmm.
you restore. You restore people that's spiritual, people that want something, people that are strong.
Yeah.
It's gonna all work out. It's gonna all come together. That's worth
Yeah.
it in the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of work, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it is. It
A lot
definitely.
of
I
work
always say
gotta
that.
go through. And
Yeah, a lot of learning, a lot of lessons, just a lot of acceptance too, just accepting things for what it is and accepting people for who they are, accepting the situation that you put yourself in and understanding that life happens. It is what it is. Like at the end of the day, what did you learn from that? What is it that obviously you haven't really changed? Sometimes we be thinking we changed something and God would put certain people in front of us and be like, still a little bit that you got left over that you need to, you know what I'm saying, let go of,
ooh, girl,
and we
tell me,
and we mad at ourselves and
tell
be like
me.
and we be like, "Why you do that? You knew better." And it's just like, you like, don't be so hard on yourself. Like, at the end of the day, yes, you knew that, but guess what? You're acknowledging it. You're aware of it. At first, you was probably aware of it and didn't even say nothing out loud to yourself. You just continue with your little merry on day and just let it be. But it's just like now I'm being honest with myself. I'm able to look in the mirror and be like, yeah, you was a little messed up that day, but it's okay. Like let's today's a new day. Let's try to do better today. Like let's not dwell on the past and just all those things that we don't realize that it just take time. It take time to go through the process of wanting to be a better you.
Right. But sometimes it be me upset that, like, ooh, because, yeah, I can hear you. But
Mhm.
sometimes myself change. You know how, like, you be ready for change, but
Okay. See, this the devil is a lie and to keep kicking her out of the thing.
it beat them up. But it just be like, ooh, like, I just can't, I can't even really, like, how you coming at me. I'm just now, you know what I'm saying, getting to that point where I'm changing up over there. So I can't even express how I'm really feeling to you right now without going back into the old me. So I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you
Yeah.
have it. And sometimes, like once I do that, I be mad at myself. I be like, oh, like you couldn't find a way to put it in words without trying to, you know what I'm saying? Feel like you got to put your hands on somebody. But that's my biggest part that I fight within myself within the change of me, because
Mhm.
I have to learn how to put it into words and express myself that way. And I've always been more of a person to lay hands when I feel like a person has crossed me or has disrespected me. But it's like, okay, now you want to be 50 years old out here rolling up in the dirt, or you want to be 50 years old, you know what I'm saying? Still feeling
Yeah.
like you got to talk peace, as Medea say, you know what I'm saying? Peace, be still.
Mhm.
That be one of the biggest things I have within myself. I'm getting better at it, but I still had the moments when it just feel like, I gotta remove myself from the situation because I can see where this is going. It ain't gonna go
Mhm.
nowhere good. But in
Yeah.
that, like, I think I'm doing good. I think I'm starting to listen to because that's the most important thing about change. He gonna give you signs. He always give us signs and talk to us whether we change or not. He always sends something to let us know, like, look, hey, this ain't working for you. And in order for you to move on somewhere else, like you got to cut this out. We
Facts.
overlook those signs most of the time, but he send them. He
Yeah.
always talking to us because, like you said earlier, we
Mhm.
ain't never on this journey alone, ever.
Mm-mm.
And it just go back down to you having that faith. Because without that faith, you will feel like you are on that mug alone. You will get lonely. You will feel like, Lord, I don't know which way to turn. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I can give all these
Mhm.
people advice on their situations, but like, where that person had to come, talk to me and give me the extra push and let me know, like, it's gonna be all right. Like, you got it. You know what I'm saying? You
Exactly.
doing better than what you feel like you're doing. But
Yeah.
it's worth it. I'm glad that you picked this topic for us, cause like, whoo, child. People be telling me that they see it, and like sometimes I be having to remind myself, like, cause like I said, like within that, like that big gotta be within ourselves. Cause
Mhm.
sometimes it's hard to see. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Where you look on the outside, but they are gonna fall back to you living your truth within
Yeah.
yourself. Long as you live your truth. Yeah, I can hear
Okay, okay, okay. Your camera thing went out, but it's okay. We're just gonna roll with it because we see what you look like in the beginning, and if it pop on, it pop on.
you. Yeah. The devil been
Yeah,
trying to work against us, y'all, because this is a strong topic, and we
it
both.
is.
I feel like from the conversation that I'm getting, I feel like we both is going through changes. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff, like you said, we have to untrain ourselves. You know what I'm saying, and retrain within our adult life and adulthood because things change. From versus you growing up and being in your parents' house versus you being out here a grown adult.
Like with me and like the change that that I've been going through and just understanding like right now, like here lately of understanding depression, understanding like why do I even have depression within my life? Like why did it overtake me, 3 years ago from today, or yeah, 3 years ago from today, or 2 years, something like that. But here lately I've been in the place of trying to understand the emotion behind it, and understanding that I didn't know how to be alone. I didn't know how to be by myself. I was sad that life wasn't the way that I wanted to be right now currently, and understanding that it's okay to feel like that. It's okay to feel like that life is life, and and it's not to say that it's never going to happen. It is going to happen. It's just right now just accepting that the things that I put myself in, the choices that I made, the decisions that I chose to make, that I unfortunately put myself in a place where I made it longer for the process to happen within my life. I made it longer for me to reach that place that I want to reach within my life, but understanding that that's not the end all be all, because I'm still standing, I'm still breathing, I'm still living, I'm still able to do all the things that there's people on this earth that are not here to be able to do anymore. And just going through my spiritual journey and understanding that not only does God got you, but he also puts a tribe behind you that's not physically here on earth to support you. And I have my big angels, and one of them we share, and that's my Aunt Dorothy. And whenever I say like she gives me like she was that Scorpio, that's that Scorpio. Y'all Scorpios, y'all are very, very intuitive people, very intuitive, and just she was always like this life of the party. She was that person that kept the family together. They always say that it's like that one person, and she was one of those people that kind of like kept us on our ish, you know what I'm saying? Let us
Right.
know about ourselves. Like she didn't care. She'll tell you about yourself quick in a hurry with no skip of a beat. And it was just like she was going through so many changes in her life, and she was going through so much that she always made sure everybody else was okay, but never checked on herself.
Herself. Yep.
And through my journey, she helped me learn that one of the biggest generational curses that we have within the women of our family is that we don't check in on ourselves. We don't be like, "Hey, you okay today?" or "How you feeling?" Like, we don't ask ourselves those questions. We kind of just tend to everybody else and just be this big light for everybody else, be this this smile and joy and all these different type of things, but we lacked self. And it was
Yeah.
like so crazy to me on, like when people pass, I learned that they have a bigger purpose in life. And
Mm-hmm.
then being on earth, it was too much distractions around them where they wasn't able to do what they needed to do. And, unfortunately it was time for them to start over in a way. And
Yeah.
you always come back on the earth and you start where you left off. And I thank God every day that he allowed me to have the strength to want to make that change within my life, to allow to help me be that example, help me be that person that people can see that it is possible, that it can happen, that yes, it may be hard, yes, it may be dark through the process, and that tunnel, it's always a light at the end of the tunnel, at the end of the tunnel. But just understanding that in order to get to the lightness, in order to get to the light, you got to go through that dark.
Yeah.
And whenever I think it was like whenever I had got sick is whenever I got real close. Like she came, boy, oh boy, she came. And she came because I was okay with letting the sickness overtake me. Like I was okay with just not being here. Like I was just like, all right, like if y'all think I got lupus, then I guess I got lupus. If now it's a lump in my breast, if I got breast cancer, then hell, so be it. Let the breast cancer take me. And I remember like my last days that I was able to have with her whenever she came down here in Oklahoma, and she was staying with Granny. And I could tell that she was tired, and she was okay with just giving up. So sad to say, but she was okay with that. Like she was okay with letting the end all be the end all. Like,
Yeah.
and it was just like really hard to see. So it was just like we tried to be that happy medicine. We tried to be that light to help her not give up. And the biggest thing that she helped me learn was you can't expect somebody else to give that light to you. Yes, it does help. Don't get me wrong. But if you don't want that light within you, you will never be able to receive the light. You will never be able to receive the healing because you don't even want to heal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You may not even feel like you're able to heal. So it's just like, what's the point? And she had to not only send people physically here on earth, like my god sister was one of my big people that was physically here, that I was able to talk to. But then it was just like my Aunt Dorothy and them and my Uncle Charles and them was like that, those people on the other side that was like, we not ready for you. Like
Yeah.
we not ready for you at all, Kiera. Like not even a little bit. Not even at like whatsoever. So I need you to want to do better for you. And the things that I chose to do versus being in that mindset and being sad that this isn't happening or that isn't happening, I just chose to be positive. And me, that's how I ended up figuring out my purpose. That's how I ended up figuring out that God wanted me to talk. He wanted me to let people know that my life that I'm going through, the things that I've went through, the decisions that I made, whether it was good, bad, ugly, like just what did sharing my life, my journey to help somebody else and to help somebody else want to make that change within their life. And somebody that may be, you know what I'm saying, going through colon cancer or going through lupus or going through breast cancer or all these different type of things, or
Right.
going through that breakup, going through the depression, whatever it is, it's just like it's time. I was ready to be the example of showing that it's gonna be okay and everything can get better. And
Yeah.
it's not easy. but it's important and it's worth it. It's always worth it in the end. Every time I choose to make one little mindset change, like I'll be thinking something negative and then say something positive behind it, or I'll just read my affirmations. Here lately, now I've been rereading the Bible and having a different perspective on the Bible now from what I did back then. And it's just like
Right.
it's just so many different things where, like, I'd be grateful for my Aunt Dorothy. Like, even whenever, like, just me being this smiley, positive, outgoing person, like embracing that more, like wanting to be more happy and not
Yeah.
worrying about if somebody feel like I'm faking it or not, or feel like I'm not being myself, or just being me,
Right.
and not worrying about what anybody else thinks. And it was just like she always, like, she embodied that, like
Yeah.
embodied it to the point to where it was just like, dang, like she was that girl and she knew she was that girl, and that's just what that was, and nobody could tell her any differently. And I feel like she shared some of her dark moments with me to help me understand that yes, she was a strong woman, but she was also weak sometimes, and there was just some things
Right.
that she didn't show. People just, you just, you genuinely, like, realize like how quick life can change in the blink of an eye. And it forced me to be appreciative of a lot of things around me, and just understand that life sometimes, and it's just important with where do you want to go with it, like how do you want to maneuver around with it, what are you going to apply within your life. Now that I gave you this information of letting you know of yes, we are strong women, yes, our line of women are hecka strong, but that's all also our weakness as well. So
Yep.
how are you going to change that? How are you going to apply this within your life where not only you could be this happy-go-lucky, bubbly person, but then also at the same time let know, like, don't get it twisted. Like, be able to embody that energy and understand to do it in a way where it's not hurting anybody. Because we tend to, we go through all this change and be like, this person ain't gonna disrespect me. You ain't gonna talk to me like that. You ain't gonna do this to me. And it's just like, I get that. That's great that you have that within you and you understand that people not gonna do these things to you. But you also have to understand when when you're projecting that, because even though you may going through that change and you changing it, now you're projecting something still negative, just in a different way. It just, so it's just like, I don't know, just different things like that is what I think of with that part of change, like changing within, like being so independent, being so strong, being so I don't need help, I don't need this, and just learning,
Right.
like you said, to ask for help. It's okay for somebody to lend a hand or to
Yeah.
help you out. Like, there's nothing, don't make you less of a person, and don't make you,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, we
And
just
then
be
it
so,
makes
ugh.
it actually make people. What I've learned, because I used to be one of the people that didn't want to ask for nothing, because like people always, you know what I'm saying, people rather put their 2 cents in before they give out and lift their hand. So I was always one of them type, like,
Mhm.
if I ain't got it, I'm just gonna, you know what I'm saying, I ain't gonna have it, I'm gonna find a way to get it. Like, if it's meant for me to have it, God gonna make a way. Because
Yep.
I didn't wanna ask people for it. But
Mhm.
then, like, it's gonna come a time where, like, it's all right as long as you out here trying for yourself. People don't mind helping you. It's when you don't want for yourself, when people gonna put their mouth up on you and have something to say, and not really want to help you, because now they working hard and they lending out their money to you only for you to what, ask for the same thing next week, or
Mhm.
ask for the same thing next month. Like, you really do have to get out here and want it for yourself. And as long as people see you trying, or people see that you willing to make a change, people don't
Mhm.
mind helping you at all.
Yeah.
But you have to want it for yourself.
And then some people see that you making change and try to do things to keep you in the place that you was, to where they can continue with manipulating you,
Yeah,
continue with
because they no
with
longer fit in your circle.
exactly, and they no longer can leech off of you. They no longer can grow off of you. They know, like, because 9 times out of 10, like, what I've learned is that I benefit within being in your life. I benefit. within you being able to have me be a part of your life. So it's just like me making the necessary changes to remove certain people out of my life. I didn't realize how important that was until I did it. Cause it was just
Right.
like I was in relationships thinking that, oh, if I change this, then that means that I'm no longer gonna have this person in my life no more. And God was like, yeah, that's the point. Like,
Right.
that's the point. I need you to move around
For
because
real.
you keep letting this person block your blessings just because you don't want to change and you don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want to be in this unfamiliar place that you're not familiar with. So you're just going to continue with not doing what I asked you to do just because you want to continue doing with what you're familiar with. So it's just like, I don't know, wanting to be a better you and wanting to just change and wanting to just do all those things. It takes consistency and commitment, and having a positive mindset along the journey of change is also important as well, because it's just like you got to have some type of positivity within your life in order for you to withhold the process of going through these growing pains and all these different type of things that you are trying to change for whatever it is that you need to change within your life, because everybody's journey is different, everybody's situations is different. So
Yep. And if you don't, if you don't got the good, if you don't got a mindset, mind over matter, then you going it's easier for you to fall back into them old habits or whatever it is that you're trying to get away from, or it's easy for you to go back into that crowd or hang around the people that you really need to get away from. So
mhm,
that is very important. But you also gotta have that leader aspect too, because if you're a follower, then you know what I'm saying. You go and do whatever everybody else doing. Somebody gotta lead somebody in the pack, and if they ain't willing to follow, then you gotta move around, find you a new set of friends, some successful friends, somebody that you're trying to be like. It's alright to learn from other people, but a lot of people don't want to do that too, because nowadays people genuinely don't want to help you. People genuinely don't want to see you succeed. It's enough money out here for everybody, but people genuinely don't want to get that lend a hand.
mhm. Yeah, and it's only because it's not going to benefit them.
Yep.
So it's just like anytime, if it's not going to benefit them, then they're not going to do it. But if somebody that genuinely has applied the change within their life,
Yes.
they gonna understand and know that by helping you, they gonna grow 10 times more, just
Yes.
because they was willing to give you that lending hand, they was willing to give you that word, give you that money, give you that, you know, material things, whatever it is. It's just like the
Right.
fact that you're willing to be selfless versus selfish. It's just like it's a lot of benefits that come with it. For so
Yes.
long I was always selfless, but I was selfless in a way where I forgot about Kiera. I would always pour into everybody else and feed everybody else and help everybody else do all these different type of things, but I would forget about pouring in Kiera's cup or finding a way of how to make Kiera be better, how Kiera can look at things differently, because I'm always thinking, well, if I do this, then that person may take offense to it, or that person feelings may get hurt, or and it's just like like you can't worry about those things, because it's like if their feelings get hurt by you changing for the better of you, and you know that you're not, and you know you're not intentionally hurting nobody, you know
Right.
that it's not something that is hurting someone, then that's whenever you know that that person is genuinely just in a place of wanting to just have you for their benefit, or have you
Right.
for
And not
whatever.
genuinely for you.
Yeah, and they just there just to be there. You could for only so long stay within your ways to the point to where you drive yourself into the dirt, basically. It's just like it's okay if you don't want to change it, if you don't want to be a better person, but don't think anything good gonna come out of it in the end. It may
Right.
be peaches and cream and glitters and gold right now, but a lot of times what I learned is that God will let you think that everything is all handy dandy, and all great and good, because he know that I he not gonna argue with you. And at this point, like you know what you're supposed to do. You know what you're supposed to change, but instead you just choosing to do whatever you want to do. And unfortunately, a lot of times those things end in you not being here no more. So it's just
Yeah.
like that'd be a big thing of why I just choose to continue with being a better me, because it was just like I don't want to leave this earth and have to repeat this cycle all over again just because I chose to not learn it now.
Right.
Just because I didn't want to be different. I was okay with being who I was. So I didn't, you know what I'm saying? It was just like I don't know how to fully express, but yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to have to come back down here, cause like honestly, I feel like it's only gonna keep getting worse. Cause like from with us growing up and the way that the world is today, it's like OMG the way the kids are today, and just
Mhm.
the world is getting crazy. So I feel you. Like I want to go ahead and get this right now, so I can live my everlasting life up there with him, and I got to keep coming back down here trying to figure out and learn this and dealing with this crazy stuff.
Yeah, cause I'd be like, Lord, like I found my purpose. I say, so can the change just come? Can the change just
Right.
come right now? Like tomorrow, like I get it now. Like I no longer want to touch the fire. Like I no longer want to beat myself up no more. I no longer want to continue with being sad. I no longer want to continue with being angry all the time. Like I want better. Like I really want to change for myself. Like I really want to be a
Right.
better me. I really want to grow now. Like I really want to understand the things that I didn't probably understand before. Like I'm at that place now where I want those things in my life. I want
Right.
to be
Well, I'm
able
willing
to,
to learn stuff that I
yes,
probably didn't understand last month. I'm now I feel like I didn't have time for it last month to learn it, but now, Lord, like I'm trying. I got the patience. Like just I feel you genuinely want better. Not to
yeah,
be an angry person, because it's so easy to be angry, but it's so much work you have to put into it to be angry,
hmm,
because your heart isn't genuinely like that.
exactly,
So you have to put in so much work to just withhold a frown or to be mean to somebody and not care about their feelings, because you're only
hmm,
human. And you have
exactly,
those exact same things up in you. No matter how much hate you got in your heart or how wrong people do you, it takes a lot in you and a long time to turn off your feelings and your heart if you genuinely have one.
yeah. Like you're uh, making yourself go through something that you know that's making you feel uncomfortable. Like you know that it's not gonna help you be a better you, and it's a lot of times it's causing you to be in a depression. It's causing you to be in these low places and these low vibrational places that you know that it's not meant for you to be in. But since you feel like that may be all you deserve, or that's all you know, or anything of those different things, you just choose to not do better or be better or make those changes within your life or want to make those transitions. Before we was really interrupted with the other video, and just like with this one, with y'all can see me but y'all can't see Mimi, but it's okay, y'all can hear her.
Right.
It's like whenever I was explaining to her at first about my depression, and just understanding that it's just it's a place where, like, me finding out that I feel like a lot of my people around me have been depressed. Like they just don't like to claim the word or like to um acknowledge it, or not even acknowledge it, but like they feel like by claiming the word they're accepting it within their life. But I had to learn that in order for me to change, in order for me to move past it, I had to acknowledge it. I had to put a name to it. I had to understand it. Don't be afraid of it, just like with the devil. Like, okay, like, yeah, the devil don't want me to change, but I have to understand him. I have to understand how he moves, how he walks, how he talks. Like it's important to understand what it is that's trying to defeat you in order for you to be able to prosper and to grow. Because it's like, how you gonna learn? Like, how you gonna learn from it? How are you gonna learn from it if you're not willing to understand it for what it is? You're just choosing to just ignore it, not pay attention to it, not put a name to it, put a face to it. You're just letting it be what it is just because that's what you're used to. Um, and it's just like, I don't know, just we have to be okay with putting the name to things. Like, just because you say you went through a depression doesn't mean that that's your label. It's just something you went through, and it's okay. Like, it's life. Like, we're all human. We all go through things. We have to have a human experience in order to understand of how it is to be human. Sometimes I'd be like, Lord, I don't belong here. Like, he'd be like, I know you don't, but right now this is what we
That's
got
what
right
it
now.
is. You got
Yeah.
an idea with it.
Yeah. And let's figure it out together, and let's walk through it together. Even going through a change of my spirituality, my belief. Let's talk about it. Like, I like just being at one point, Mimi, like, I used to have panic attacks. I used to have anxiety, thinking I was gonna die and go to hell, because just because I, ooh, transparency, dated a woman. Okay, let's talk about that. I was dating a woman. I was talking to a woman, and I fell in love with her. I'm not gonna lie. I fell in love with her. And I really just like, I feel like with that situation, it was like, it was a big change for me. Like, that was one of the biggest changes I've ever went through in my entire life. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, now I understand what kids go through that are wanting to change their sexuality or their appearance or just liking the same sex, whatever have not be. And it's just like, that change of what family told you of what's not okay, or how this isn't right and that isn't right, and that's not of God, and God not gonna accept that, and da 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 da. And I'm just like, well, then why did God created them though? So
Right.
if their mind is attracting towards this same sex, and then a little do people know that a lot of times the same sex that I attracted in another lifetime, they was not always a woman. You feel me?
Right.
So it's just like, it just so happened that in this lifetime, she happened to be a woman in this lifetime. And I had to go through a transition of trusting myself or trusting what other people was trying to tell me of what it was. People be like, oh, it's just a phase, or oh, it's not real, or you can't, that don't make sense, you can't do that, or just disowning me. It's a lot of dark things that I went through around that time.
Right.
Whenever I was dating a woman, just making it seem like I was gonna be with the devil, making it seem like I was changing God's word. I was creating what I wanted to create, hell. Didn't know I was doing that. You know what I'm saying? I thought it
Right.
was just in my how I felt and
How
what I
about
felt
your
in the
feelings?
inside. It was like, I really do like this person. And it's just like, how the heck do you think I feel? Hell, all my life I've only had men in my life. I've only attracted men. Period. So with this woman just popping up in my life, and me getting to know them, and me looking past the vessel part, and looking into just like spiritual part of it, and understanding that she's just as human as me. Yes, she may be a woman and I'm a woman, but at the end of the day, it's just like things within us and the things that aligned. It was just like, I'm not gonna say that she was my twin flame, because there's also some things that I'm learning that I feel like that she may have been a false twin flame, or she could have potentially been my twin flame, but just is in these, just in the, just that's a whole nother ball game,
Right. That's for
just
part two.
yeah. And so it's just like I had to accept that this was something that I genuinely liked. And it was okay that I liked that individual. It was okay that I had that experience, and God helped me understand that he never loved me any less. He never judged me, because he already knew that she was going to come in my life before I knew she was going to come in my life. And it was just like one of those things of just understanding that, like, there's no reason to think you're gonna go to hell, because you're not. If
Right.
anything, little do you know, up in the spirit world, a lot of people don't know that you was one of my right hand men. You forgot about it, because once you get down here on earth, you don't remember a lot of stuff in the spirit world. So it's just like I found out that I was I was his right hand man. I was a person that helped him do, I feel like helped him just, I don't it's something bigger than me. I haven't fully figured it out, but it's just like I
Go get
know
it.
that, yeah, like I know that, like, he been rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? Longer than I could probably even remember. Like a earth angel. Like I know that I'm a earth angel. I know that I'm not like most people. So once I got out of that mindset, and God helped me understand that those were just your family's projections. Those were just their fears. Those were just, they're afraid of change. They're afraid of the change that comes within their circle, because like we was talking about, we be caring about what people think, what other people gonna think, how they gonna talk about Kiera. Oh, now they gonna think that we da da da. And it's just like it's not about that. How about you think about me? How about you think about how
Right.
Kiera feels? Like you put me in a mind space of this dark ass place that you would have never even thought that you put me in. But then, people don't want to take that type of accountability. They don't want to take that part of it. They don't want to look in the mirror and be like, damn, like I played a part in that. Like I played a part in, like making her think that way, or making her think that she was going to go to hell just because she was talking to a woman, just because of my beliefs and what I read and how I perceived it. I made her think that she was changing it all. But in
Right.
reality, I was just going through life and just minding my business, and it just so happened that just ended up being a part of my journey.
Right.
And it helped me it helped me learn that situation. I feel like for real helped me learn how to ma- be okay with the change of not having him in my life. Being okay with, like, being happy with Kiera, no matter what choice that was, whether I wanted to be with her, not wanting to be with her, whatever it is. It's just like I was finally able to build the strength of understanding and knowing that, not saying that they was wrong or not saying that I was right, but knowing that my feelings and how I felt was valid, and that was right. And no matter of how they felt like it was, or what they thought it was going to be or look like, it's not about them. It was about me. So it's just like it's just different things that I'm proud of myself, that I allowed myself to change, and I allowed myself to look at the bigger picture and listen to God, and not have people make me think that I'm not listening to God, and oh, the devil can talk too. And it's just like, hell, I know the devil can talk too. Trust me. I've
Right.
danced with them a couple of times. Let's be real
Right.
here. Like I
Right.
know I know how he work, for sure, for sure. But I also know that God is way bigger, and he be on Kiera, and he let me know. we last left off when we was talking about change. We was talking about I was talking about going through the changes of speaking my truth to like family members and like how they chose to act towards my choice of what I wanted to do in my life around that was like 3 years ago, 3, 4 years ago, I would say. That was a long time ago. Lord Jesus, time go by fast. But yeah,
Mhm.
3, 4 years ago we was talking about that. What did you think whenever I was telling you like a little bit about that? Like,
To be all the way honest, I
mhm,
was shocked because like I hadn't known anything about you having a
uh-huh,
girlfriend or knowing that side of you. Because, like you said, what I'm saying, we're cousins, but
mhm,
it's distance between us. Like when we were
yeah,
younger, we were around each other all the time, but as we
mhm,
grew up, it became distant. So it kind of shocked me, but I'm glad that you felt comfortable enough, what I'm saying, to share that with me. Because, what I'm
mhm,
saying, I got a girlfriend and I've been having a
yeah,
girlfriend for a long time. So it was like, okay, I ain't the only one, what I'm saying, that feel that type of way. But it shocked me. But it was interesting to know too and listen to and understand that you getting it. You got it.
yeah. It wasn't easy. It's so crazy because it's just like some people tell me it's this one friend that I used to have, I guess I would say, and he would say like how my journey seemed easy in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? In his eyes, it was easy. In his eyes, like my transition, my transition that I went through, the changes that I was choosing to go through was easy. But then I was just in my mind like, nah, it ain't easy at all. Like I just I learned now, like back then I didn't understand like how I was able to get through certain things like that. Like I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I did go through it in an unhealthy way. Like I would look at it in an unhealthy way and dwell on it and just be so sad to the point to where like wishing that people would change their minds, wishing that they would just be on my side and wishing that they would just hear me. Like forget the outside noise, forget everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying like it get a little touchy with the whole Bible thing. I'm starting right now to reread the Bible from like currently with my friend. So it's just like I have a different viewpoint on it now with reading it. So it's not me trying to be the Bible, it's me listening to the stories of the journeys that people went on and this is the things that they were rewarded for. And it wasn't easy. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a easy transition. It was a hard one. It was a hard change for them, but they chose to trust him. They chose to just listen and just kept it pushing. And then they seen at the end, like by me just doing what it is that he asked me to do, is so much better at the end of that tunnel. But then through that you have people that make you feel that where you're going is it's not really where God say it's supposed to
Right.
go because they feel like it should be a different way. So they feel like since you're choosing to change a different direction, it makes them feel uncomfortable. So now I gotta stop you. I gotta throw a shoe at you. Then I gotta throw a brick. You know, maybe let's what I'm saying, get a little deeper into like we was just talking about like spell work, just different things like that. Like people will try to throw things in front of you whenever you're genuinely trying to change not only for yourself but for God because he's asking you to because it's like you don't know what I prayed about, you know what I'm saying, in silence in my head, sometimes not even out loud, learning that some things you just sometimes it's not good to just pray out loud because it ain't meant for everybody to hear because you never even though you by yourself there's still people around you, trust me and believe. So it's just like you just never know who you sharing your thoughts and your dreams with, and now you wondering why all these things is not working out and it's because you're talking too much, you're just too loud. So it's just like just being quiet within it and trusting it, having faith and just understanding and knowing that like I knew that I was gonna get through it, and I knew this for some way somehow I knew that they were going to not accept it, but love me for me, and either accepted me for me or just not see me at all. Like I got to that point where it was just like it's okay for me to like distance myself, especially if you're not making me mentally like sad to say, but certain things mentally cause triggers within me that I never knew that I had. And it's just like being afraid to talk about that because it's just like now that person feels all like feels bad or thinks that I'm trying to make them what is it like make them feel like
It's
um
their fault or they're accountable for it.
yeah, and it's just like nah, like this is just how I feel. Like this is just how you make me feel, and I'm just understanding the feeling, and then I'm just trying to move past it. But it's just like you don't want to move past it because you're choosing to only thinking about it from a selfish point of view. So it's just like it's how I feel, and it's just like no, it's not about you. So it's just like I don't know, just learning that through that journey, it was dark and it was scary. It was so scary because I was just like, but you said in the Bible, this always get preached to me all the time. What you mean? Like for real, like like they always say don't question him, but I'm not gonna lie, through that journey, I questioned him. And I was angry. I said a few cuss words here and there, and people probably be looking at me like I'm crazy whenever I say that, but it's like so serious. Like he know who I am as a person. Now you know what I'm saying, he'll correct me like, hey, watch yourself. But it's just like in that moment, like help me understand at this point because I'm confused. Like please, because this
It,
don't make sense.
it be
Huh?
like it be like that. But see, I didn't have to go through where people will. I done experienced it now within me being grown, or people, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, not liking gay people, but it's more of like older, you know what I'm saying, older people that, you know what I'm saying, have that. But like, far as like family wise, like immediate family for me, like my mama and stuff like that, like I didn't have no problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was cool because it was
Mm-hmm.
like it was me. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
ain't ever been able to just, you know what I'm saying, hide me. And mama, she allowed me to be me. She cool. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? She been cool with it the whole time. Okay, there we go. But
No,
yeah,
you still on there. I can still see you.
all right. But yeah, she been cool with it the whole time. It ain't been a problem with it. But like now as I get older and run across, you know what I'm saying, a few strangers and stuff like that, or a few people that I done probably
Mhm.
met at a job or something, it's like now I understand what people,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, go through all the
Mhm.
time because they be like, Lord, you wait till I change or, you know what I'm saying, trying to
Yeah.
change to bring this to me. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's cool. Some people don't understand it. And it really, that's how mom broke it down to me as a teenager. She was like, it ain't for everybody to understand. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You get around people that accept it. And you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The ones that don't, they ain't got to be around you. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's how mom broke it down to me. But I
Yeah.
ain't really have a problem with it, you know. So
Mhm.
I hate that you had to, you know what I'm saying, experience that or whatever. But you know what I'm
You
saying? You
know, honestly, like at first, like I didn't like it. I hated it. I didn't understand it. I'm like, cause I still love them. Don't get me wrong. Like I was gonna love them to death. Like
of
still gonna
course,
rock behind them. Don't ever get it twisted, y'all.
right,
But you know, this is just me only expressing how I felt within that moment
right,
and being right now in the present, being able to just vocally talk about it. So it's just like it's just I appreciate it because like it helped build me to who I am today. You know what I'm saying? That aspect wise of myself, but anything beyond getting to know the core of me, I disconnect from that. So it's just like understanding just certain things. So it's just like I felt like that helped me prepare for like the big world of what's coming for me. Like I know that like I'm gonna be big, and I know that. Like I didn't
right,
accept it at first, but now I accepted it now, and I'm going through a change where I know that there's just a lot of blessings and abundance around me where it's not gonna just stop with me. It's a generational thing, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing more than just
right.
this whole earth stuff and this whole money and all. I'm doing things spiritually that will no longer ever, like, no more. Like, I'm tired of it. No, thank you, please.
For real.
Next
Yeah.
one. Like, let's go heal some more. Like, I don't mind healing you. I don't mind helping you. I don't mind doing all that. You know what I'm saying? At first I didn't, like I said, like my life path number is a change. It's change. And my life path number is a 5. That means change. So it's just like I didn't like that because at first I didn't like people. I'm like, God, I don't like to talk to people. Like, what I look like talking to somebody? I barely could stand up in front of a big old crowd of people and read a book. Like, come on now. I be stuttering. I be hesitating on my words. And he was just like, okay, in. And I was like, okay, fine. Let me try to embrace it. Like, it's my purpose. Okay, let's go through this change. Let's understand the meaning of what change is for Kiera. Like, why did you place that on me? Like, what am I gonna do within the world? Like, who am I? Now I know, you know what I'm saying? Who I know for real, to the point to where it's just like I am aligned.
Yeah.
I am aligned, you know? So it's just like, how have you
Yeah.
been with your change?
You got it. Period. You know what I'm saying? The line, like more back into the Bible, like you said, and just more of understanding it of me being grown.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And just going through the life things and stuff like that. But I'm making it, and it
Mhm.
feels good. It feels good.
What were some through your transition, what were things that was hard for you through your transition of change?
The things that was hard for me was, and I'm still working on, not taking things as personal. You
Mhm.
know, like if people say something or if people don't do unto me as I do unto them, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like that would be the hardest thing. But I'm better than I was yesterday, and I'm gonna get there.
What did you do to get there? Like to be where you are now? Like what was the things
I
that you
just
did?
have to understand that it's only one me.
Mhm.
I ain't gonna find myself in nobody else, and the things that I do for people, I genuinely do it at my heart, you know. So
Mhm.
I ain't expecting nothing.
Yeah.
So my hopes ain't gonna be let down because
Mhm.
I'm not looking for nothing in return. So now that I understand that, it's like okay, blessings gonna come regardless.
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep doing this just because there's me genuinely doing it out the kindness of my heart, and so it
Okay.
makes it easier because naturally, genuinely, I take care of people. I've been doing it all my life. Started with my younger siblings, and it's
Mhm.
just something that I always been doing. So I
Yeah.
just had to accept it. That's just
Mhm.
what I do.
Yeah.
So now that
It's
I
your
accept
nature.
it, I didn't want to,
Mhm.
but now that I accept it, it's smoother, it's easier.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what I done had to learn.
So through your change and through the transitions, have you found what your purpose is?
Yeah,
What is your
taking care
purpose?
of people, helping
Taking
people.
care. Mhm. In what aspect? Like in what platform? Like nursing, speaking, book.
Hey, like I've thought about a book, but
Mhm.
I get distracted like
Okay.
easily. So it's like I started writing and then I end up doing other stuff because
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, real life be happening. And like I started the schooling for nursing.
Mhm.
So like now I'm just trying to do my own business where
Mhm.
I'm actually doing 100% natural skincare and hair care products and
Mhm.
soap products and stuff like that. So I
Mm.
guess that'll fall back into like the healing aspect or
Mhm.
whatever. So yeah, that's what I think, and I enjoy doing it. I enjoy making the scrubs and the body butters and stuff like that. And I think
Yeah.
we end up start doing like the beard oils and stuff. So there's something fun to do.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm gonna have to try the cuz I've been wanting some natural body like wash stuff, like just soap.
yeah,
I like to smell good. Like I always
hmm
get compliments on how I smell because I take that really seriously.
right.
So it's just like I be wanting natural stuff for the important parts of my body. I have this other feminine wash that my mama also sells um with the Oberly brand, but I've been wanting like just like I don't know, like something on top of that, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
like some
And
extra.
see, like, and I'm gonna end up doing that too because, like, right now, like, I do the yoni steams and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So, yeah, all this gonna come along. You just gotta
Okay.
piece it all together. Like I said, it just once I get it all the way aligned, and just
Mhm.
put it all together, like with real life, and still make time. You know what I'm saying, to put up in it, like the ball will be rolling, and then I'll be straight.
Yeah, you will be. You know what's so crazy? My 2 managers, they gave me dates. That that lit a fire in me. So that's how I be getting through my stuff now, like with my podcast and stuff, and also being able to like balance out like my work life and my personal life. Like I'm able to like I'm cool in all areas. Like I'm just chilling. So it's just like it was at first I ain't understand it. Like I ain't understand it at all. I'm like, well, I gotta focus on one and then, just not worry about the other one. I'll forget about the other one, then I'll be focused too much on work and then forget about YouTube and then focus on YouTube and forget about work. And it's just like, hold on, wait a minute, you need a balance. Like you gotta have both in order to be able to continue with going through the transition you trying to go through. I be trying to rush the change sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, cause you be knowing that something gonna
Yeah, and
change,
I
and you
think
be
I think that's what it is with me. Cause like it's like I started doing one thing and then they get to going good and then I hurry up and what I'm saying, add something else
mhm,
instead of just letting that one thing go good for a little minute and then gradually add something else and then
mhm,
you know what, I got a whole bunch of stuff that I'm trying to do and then on top of what I'm saying, work and all this. So I think
yep,
that's where, and now that I know that that's where I was messing up at, I
mhm.
can fix it and like so yeah.
Yeah, to where you don't keep like doing it over again. It's just like, okay,
Right,
I gotta just focus on this one thing. Like, let this
right.
one thing take its course. Like, just just do it. It's gonna be okay. Like, and then take your go sit down. Don't do this today. Please don't. Jesus, he was just about to jump on me. He was about to make me mad. But anyways, but yeah, so it's just like, whew. But another thing that I did want to talk about was like going through the change of like relationship wise, like um learning like with me personally, going through the change of not accepting things that I know that I shouldn't accept, but I just accept it just because. Just to, just the sake of being able to keep that person in my life in whatever aspect that I want them in there. And then making a whole la la land of everything else that is really not what it is at all. Just be creating stuff and just be sitting in stuff that I should sit in. Like I don't know if you know, like for example, with the whole situation where the guy that I was talking to, I had ended up driving to Tennessee. I drove him to Tennessee. He went to jail, bailed him out of jail, signed his bond, paid half his money for his lawyer. Never got any of that money back. You know what I'm saying? And did all of that. And then after I bailed him out, he was acting dumb, stupid, crazy towards me. Ooh, I ain't like I don't talk about that part, behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Bro was getting a little, he was getting a little froggy. You know what I'm saying? But then with me being who I am, I'm a peacemaker. So it's just like, don't ever get it twisted.
Right.
But in those moments, I just sat in that stuff and I just was the peacemaker, was just trying to make sure he made it home safe. After he don't care, but nothing about you, care. He's showing you he don't care about you. He's showing that he literally was mad and you bailed him out of jail. He mad at you because of certain things. Like, come on now, like what? Like just because you was being sneaky and I found out you was being sneaky while you was in jail, and me being who I am, which now I'm not that no more. Like I used to do too much. Used to always overly express, overly just tell you all my business about how I'm feeling, what I'm gonna do, just doing too much. And now I learned. Now I just shut up. Now I don't talk, and that scare people now because they be like, damn, she don't do that. She don't usually she be rah rah. Usually she be crying and telling me how she feel, and then I'm able to just manipulate it. And it's like, nah, just shut the fuck up. Like
Right.
you ain't gotta tell me twice. Like I just shut the fuck up. Like I don't do that shit no more. Like I'm glad I changed that because boy, I'm like, Lord, why did I keep touching that fire? He said, I don't know. He said, but boy, you was burning your ass up because man, what is this? What is the world? What is life? Because oh my gosh, Kiera, gotta
Well,
take accountability. Like, have you
like,
ever been through situations like that?
I mean, in them type of situations, they be hard because when you genuinely do stuff, from your
Mm-hmm.
heart, like, it be kind of hard to accept the fact that a person getting over, or what I'm saying, a person using you, or a
Man.
person, what I'm saying, not meet you halfway. And so,
Mm-hmm.
like, what I learned up in that situation, you just always got to look out for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad to be like that and be that way. But you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? If don't nobody look out for you other than God, who gonna look out for you if you don't? Ain't
exactly.
nobody got you like you got you. Your mama got you, but I mean, hell, we grown now.
Yeah. See, that acceptance part was hard for me because I'm like, dang, like,
And
I'm
it
like,
took a
God, but
long
I
time for
genuinely
me to
did
accept
that.
it too. It took me a
Yeah.
long time to accept it too, because I genuinely did stuff to bun the folks out from
Mm-hmm.
somebody. Didn't even have all the money, nigga. Done put my
Man,
title to my car. Don't
man,
play.
man.
But you know what I'm saying? You live and you learn, because life
Mm-hmm.
is something. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
It's something that you can't take for granted. But once you get through it and you learn through it and you go through it, you know what I'm saying? You overall you turn out to be pretty straight.
Yeah. You grow.
And
You
that's all
grow
you
so
do is go
much.
through it, because I learned through all of it.
Yeah. Cause it's like
Like
I
how
learned
long
that.
it took, I learned through all of it.
Yeah. But that's the important part. You're supposed to learn. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people be thinking
Right.
that they just be stuck on that it happened to them. So then it's hard for them to change out of that. Like they don't know how to get out of that. They don't know
But
how to.
then people owe them something, like a balance
Yeah.
in life. Everybody done been through something. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like you deal with it how you deal with it. Everybody
Mhm.
deal with stuff differently, but like it's if you gonna let it wound you or let it make you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. That's why I just take the bruise. Hey, cut me here. I like my little battle wounds and I just keep it
yeah,
pushing. Like
for real.
I like to talk about them. Like,
Yeah.
yep, this one means I went through such. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like let's
Yes.
talk about
Yeah.
it.
War
Cause
wounds, battle wounds. That's all it is.
yes, cause I noticed that like whenever you embrace them and you embrace change and you embrace God just taking you, you literally blind. Like you just go with the flow and you just allow him to do what it is that he doing. You know it. He send you information whenever you need to be sent
Mm,
information. But other than that, you blinded. And it's just like whenever you allow yourself to do that, it's just so peaceful. It's like you start to appreciate the times that you didn't. appreciated, because then now you're able to understand why that person may have an attitude on why they not appreciating it. So then you're able to help that person. You're able to, like, if you choose to see it in that way, some people change and be like, girl, I ain't got time to be helping them. And it's just like,
Right.
you ain't really changed. You got something to work on. Like,
Yeah.
in reality, like, you still need to work on yourself, because if you ain't got time to help somebody that genuinely, yeah, they may be acting the ass, but they're acting the ass for a reason. Like, it's always a method to somebody's madness. I don't care what nobody say. Like,
Yep. And some people don't want to learn that method. Some people just like
mm-hmm.
naturally being asses,
Yeah,
and that's just it's
I
just
had to
that.
learn to leave them just where they at. You
Yep.
just let them be. They
Mm-hmm.
was put here on earth for a reason, to
Yep.
do their job,
Yep.
and they doing their job. And
Because if I can learn it, and then like we both was doing the same dumb shit, and then like you ain't
hmm
learned from it, and I done grew from it, and it's just like, okay, you want to be on dumb shit,
yeah,
so
at
me
this
and
point,
your
that's
do
what you're
your dumb
choosing.
shit. Yeah, you do your
Yeah,
dumb shit over there, and I'm gonna go over here.
yeah, because that's the life that you're choosing to have, and that's not the life that I want to have for myself. Because it's just like, with my spiritual journey, whenever I chose to go on a spiritual journey, it's a lot, because it's more than just physically here on earth. It's like, whenever I went through my transition, not only people say that they have like things that happen to them physically on earth, I have things that happen to me in my dreams. Like, I have things that happen to me, like, to like physically in my face, like, from other people, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
it'd be weird to me. It'd be weird whenever God would even show me, like, he'll show me people, and like, I'd be like, dang, like, oh, okay. And I'm like, dang, I gotta go through this again, gotta move away from this person. It's just
right,
like, sometimes I'm not gonna lie, like, here lately, what I've been going through with my transition is like accepting that the shit is just gonna be alone right now. Like, it's a lonely, it's like, it's not lonely because I have people around me, and I have, like, I'm never alone. But it's just like, understanding the concept of having to try to do things on your own, and it's not by choice. It's because that's just what you were here put to do. Like, I was literally here to do these things on my own, to where, and I was like, why I gotta do all that? And I started to understand, like, it's because nobody can come back and say, oh, I helped you do this. I needed to do certain things on my own, to where nobody try to discredit what it is that I done.
right.
Like, it's just like, it's not easy, because it's like, dang, like, sometimes you be wanting to have somebody around, because it could be lonely. He do send people, but it'd be like, now, I was just talking to my friend yesterday, and I was just telling her how, like, I've come to a place where it's easier for me to be alone. Like, it's easier for me to kind of like, just without going into a depression, or without like allowing my mind to defeat me. Like, I genuinely just be alone and be happy as hell. Like, I'd be like, wow, like, I came a long ways. Like, it's been a long journey, but like, being in the present moment and understanding the growth, and understanding that all of that change that I was afraid of, all of that change that I was unfamiliar with, all of the things that I just didn't know of what was going to happen next, it was all worth it, because I'm able to just sit there and look in the mirror and be like, you did that shit. Like, I'm
Yeah,
proud of you. Like, look at you. Like, it's like you didn't think you was gonna make it. You didn't even think that, you didn't know how certain things was gonna move, which way it was gonna turn, but you made it. Like, you made it out. Like, you was able to not only have trust in God, but have trust in yourself, have faith in yourself, like, believed in yourself. Like, it's just like, in order for God to be able to continue with pushing you, you had to learn that you have to push yourself. You had to be able to give Kiara some energy, Kiara some vitamin D. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was just things that I just wasn't giving myself, and I didn't realize that. So it was just like, you think that you change, you think that you do better, or you've made this transition, and then it's like something else will pop up through the journey, and it's just like you'll be hard on yourself. But now I just learned to just have grace. Like, okay, it's something I gotta work on. Okay, let's work on this. Let's understand it, and let's keep it pushing versus being mad that I gotta work on it and feel like I'm starting all over. And it's just like, no, it's just something else that's just been placed in front of you. That's a test to make sure this is the opportunity to be able to deal with it in a different way or look at it in a different light versus being upset or being angry like you usually would be. So it's just like looking at things better and just being positive and just being grateful for sure for life.
Yeah, and that's what I'm learning to be more grateful, not take anything for granted. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Just appreciate it. It's gonna come.
Mhm.
It's all gonna, as long as I'm grateful and appreciative and got faith, it's all gonna fall in place. And just accept it for, like you said, what it is.
Yeah.
Let it be.
Very true. You whenever you go through that, whenever you go through a transition, you kind of like you don't really have a choice. Like it's just
Yeah.
you learn a lot. You learn a lot of hard lessons, and you learn, and then it's just like you. Whenever you choose a spiritual journey, that means you choosing to break whatever generational curses that was within your lineage, within your bloodline. So it's like not only are you trying to battle your battles that you created while you was here on earth, but you also battling the battles that you didn't create at all. You didn't even
And I'm
know that
not
it was
part of
even a
it,
damn
but it's
battle.
just I'm part of it without even having parts of it.
Yeah, and it's just like, and you choose to take on that responsibility. Like it's a choice. Like God not gonna force you to go through it. Like I chose to take on that weight. Like I knew that I could fight a battle. Like I'm a warrior. I can do it. Like so I just take on it. I'm like, if this is something that would help us as a whole, oh, no problem. Like, because I didn't like that, how, I'm like, just how don't talk about our emotions, how we don't help one another, be wanting to be so greedy. Like, it just be like, really? Like, come on now. Like, it ain't always got to be a competition. Like, it ain't always got to be a upper hand on the other person. It ain't always gotta be, oh, they got their car repo. Did you hear about that yesterday, girl? Girl, yeah. Yeah, she called me. Yeah, she called me and she told me that. I'm like, come on now. Like, it's just like, ah, people annoy me. I'm not gonna lie. So it's just like, it just be like stuff like that.
Yeah,
Be like, really, like be
crazy.
better, like do better. Like, I ain't even gonna say no names, like that just popped up in my head, but it just be like family members that do petty stuff, and it's like, and you know that people is tied to other people. Like, what's the point? Like, what do you get out of that? Like genuinely, people need to really sit down and think before they do. Like, I used to be that person. So like, don't get me wrong, like I used to be quick on my feet and react real quick. But then now that I'm older, thank God I'm learning at 27. I don't want to do that. I ain't got time for that. I'm not about to react because it's just like you throwing that energy out. Are you going to be able to take that back in? Because whatever you throw out, it's going to come right back to you. So are you prepared for that? Are you really ready to take on these battles that you throwing at somebody else? It's just like, be so for real. It's just like,
Be like,
I don't
Lord,
know.
just
I
help.
just them. Like, I just pray that you just work, that God work on your heart for real, because that's a hard place to be, to not, because it's like that means that you don't like yourself. That means that you can't look in the mirror and be like be comfortable with what you're looking at. Like, that is like, that I don't like that. I don't wish that upon nobody, because I've been there before, and that's not
But
a place to be.
it's genuinely out here like that. They ain't happy with themselves and just
Mhm.
think everybody else supposed to be unhappy
Yeah.
or supposed to walk on eggshells around them. And like you
Mhm.
said, like they just don't want change. You have to just pray for them. These
Yeah.
people out here that's real, real sad for real and don't
Mhm.
understand what's going on in the real world
Mhm.
and don't know how to deal with it.
That's
Mhm.
why it's a whole bunch of suicide and everything else going on out here. People don't know how to deal with it. They can't handle
Yeah.
it.
That see, and that whole suicide thing be like that'd be crazy to me. I be hating that because it's just like it's a lot, and I understand that like life not easy, and life be life in, and I get that, and it's just like I also learned that it still don't stop. Like like you still keep going. You still gotta learn now. Now you gotta learn all over again, and then hope and pray that you have the opportunity to come back down here to rewrite the story. Cause you can really end up making it be an end all be all just giving up. Like that's why I never gave up. Cause I ain't want to be my end all be all, and then that's just what I left here on earth. And that was just it. Like I want to leave something behind where it'll leave a stamp where other people was able to also financially become wealthy off of. Like I don't want to just leave here with me just being, oh, Kiera was just Kiera. Like no, like I want to leave here with nothing but something. If that makes sense, because you can't take money with you, but you can
Right,
definitely
right.
leave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't take it, but when you die, everybody gonna be fighting over it. But
Exactly.
like,
So it's just like,
you want to leave something, you know what I'm saying, with a legacy, to where people,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying, can speak good up on your name and talk about how genuinely good person you was. You know what I'm saying? Like you cared. You know what I'm saying? You cared
Yeah.
to make a difference. It's rare to find that nowadays because everybody is out
Mhm.
for self. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Everybody worry about them getting ahead or everybody down to help you as long as you
Mhm.
ain't doing better than them. Everybody want to see you do good, but not better than them. Like, so when people genuinely care to make a difference and want to see everybody
Mhm.
do good and want to heal people from their trauma or their
Facts.
childhood past or whatever stump it
Mhm.
is that they have forgiven whoever or their self for them to genuinely grow in life, that's good. And you
Yeah.
doing dang good.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You go, girl. You got it. You got it. You doing good.
You do too. You do too, for real, cause you're on the path of choosing to want to get there, and that's all that matters. And a lot of people don't realize that. Like a lot of people don't understand that. That's literally what I did. I just chose, even though I was mad and I was pissed off. Sometimes I still chose. I was like, "Hey, okay, cool. We're gonna
Like,
choose to
how do
do
you
this." This is what
feel
we
like
choosing to do.
after
Us doing this part and the other part. Like, how do you feel after talking about all these things? Like,
I feel relieved,
uh huh.
refreshed. That's
Hmm.
how I feel.
That's really
I
cool.
feel
I feel like
I
that too.
feel
That's
back,
crazy.
you know what I'm saying, back motivated, you know what I'm saying? Like back like Mimi got a groove back, I still got a groove back,
Uh
like
huh.
back in, so like steps, I had already been talking about it this week anyway, like just getting back. I call my stuff the lab when I get to making my scrubs and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's why I be in the lab. So I
Uh
already
huh.
been talking about this week about getting back in the lab, and so I'm definitely
Okay,
getting
that's
back.
exciting.
Yeah,
Well, I'm ready to see you. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to see you get back into
before
the
we end the
lab.
video?
So I'm gonna read the affirmation, and so this one is the seventh chakra, which is the crown chakra. And I picked this purple card because the last video you was wearing purple before the screen had went out, and that I feel like it says the seventh one. So this one right here, yeah,
yeah,
no, the crown. So it's up there, but that look pink. Disregard. But that's basically the seventh. The seventh chakra is the very top one. But yeah,
right,
so that's why I picked it, and I was like, man, I was like, Mimi got on pink today. I mean, purple today. I was like, she must be in her crown chakra and don't even know.
right,
But this one, okay, so it says grace, okay, is the word. And it says, the grace of a higher power is with me, and I move through life knowing this truth. I believe in a higher power, and I know that it is within and around me, offering assistance and guidance. I surrender all my fears and burdens to a higher power. I am open to receive grace, and I trust in a higher power. I am worthy.
the crazy part is, I wore the outfit. We did the video Sunday because
Uh-huh.
I ended up going to church, and that's what the sermon was
Mm.
on, Sunday grace. So, girl, I needed that. Like, you don't even know. Like, you just spoke to my soul right then with that. Like, I needed that. Like,
Okay. Period. See? Always be aligning. I'm telling you, God be really on my side here lately. I'm understanding the assignment with my podcast now, and
right,
it's starting to
you
get a
said
little
that,
juicy.
girl. Yeah, yeah, I needed
Yes.
that. Like, for real. Yeah,
Yes. I
that went
love you.
perfectly with it. Like, yeah, I love you too. But yeah, I needed that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so,
But that
um,
just made me feel even more better about this podcast and our
uh-huh,
conversation about change, because
uh-huh.
that just summed it all up right there.
Yeah, it basically does. Like just having grace is the biggest word to ever have in the midst of change. Grace. Boy, grace through all of it. All of it. Like not excuses, but grace. And just understanding that life be life into everybody and I'm gonna get through it, you gonna get through it. And we gonna be on top of where we supposed to be on top of for us. Cause like you said, nobody can make you, nobody can make me. I'm Kiera, nobody else can be Kiera, and that's on period. So it's just like the legacy
Yeah,
that I'ma build is my legacy that I'ma build, and the legacy that you gonna build is a legacy you gonna build, and that's just what that is. And it's just
yeah,
gonna be legacies and going from there. So it's just like I be seeing a touch of it happening through our family, and it'd be so cool to see just like each individual that's choosing to want to do better. You see the changes, and it's just like it's cool to see. So I'm happy that this is. I'm glad he answered my prayer because it's just like I'm grateful and I appreciate you doing this with me for real, for real.
yeah. I'm grateful too, girl. I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I thank you, like, for real. I needed it.
Yes, yes. And so before we end that video, y'all, make sure y'all like, make sure y'all comment, make sure y'all subscribe. And we're gonna combine the
Yeah,
two videos together. I feel it in my spirit, and y'all just gonna see us on a black screen and Kiera just talking, and then y'all see all of Kiera and all of Mimi on this one, and that's just what it's gonna be. And
right.
peace, love, and blessings. I love you guys. Bye.
Bye, y'all.